Hey guys, it's going Duty here. I'm back with another video. In today's video, some more Stranger Things theories. Your comments on these videos are incredible. The community building around the Stranger Things theories is incredible, and I'm just really enjoying and I'm really excited for Stranger Things Volume 2, as I know so many of you are. So I found some more theories in the comments because they're just the best ones. Your theories are by far the best theories. So let's take a look at some of the comments on the previous Steve will die in season 4 video and have a look at how juicy those comments are. Please hit that like button, share the video, subscribe. I'm so close to 100k. I can almost taste it now. 10 years in the making, so it would mean the world to me if you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Let's take a look at these theories. Okay, so we have more theories. You guys loved the Steve episode. Loved to hate, I think is the correct term. But yeah, so we have some more because these theories, I love them. I love them. And they're doing amazingly. And could Stranger Things be the key to getting me to 100k? Oh my goodness, how amazing. Please do help. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share. I've combed through a few and I've picked out a few, and we're going to start with Francisco Ortega, who says, I don't think Vecna will die this season. I think there will be a fight happening, but it will end with both sides being badly hurt, plus the one or more deaths on the right side up team. Then from the time between now and season 5, it will involve healing from the physical and mental damage of Vecna, but also the emotional damage of losing possibly Steve. Steve! And whoever else might die. Then, in Season 5, we'll see the team somewhat recovered to some extent. Maybe Vecna tries to attack Dustin using the trauma with Steve. Then that leads up to another all-out carnage battle. Didn't think of that. Because I'm thinking, you know, if Steve dies, then he's not going to be in Stranger Things anymore. But if you think, like, Billy's dead, but he was in Season 4 because he was used by Vecna to traumatise Max. Very interesting. I must admit, guys, I don't want to put the nail in the coffin, because I know we're all Team Steve here, okay? But Steve has released, or the actor who plays Steve Harrington has released, Joe Keery, a music career under Joe. I haven't listened to it yet, but he's cut his hair. And obviously, yes, he could be wigged up for Season 5, but I don't know, I feel like that haircut could be the nail in the coffin. But then is this all like expected? Because his hair is a thing, do you know what I mean? There's like Twitter accounts and stuff, Instagram accounts of his hair. It's a thing, so maybe they did this on purpose, knowing full well they're going to wig him up. But they knew, like, if we do this, if we allow him to do this, then everyone's going to think he's going to die. And then when he survives, everyone's going to be like, woo, yeah, Steve's alive. So, yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Then the spin-off series involves the Mind Flayer being released or escaping Russia, and that leads to another storyline. Maybe they can go It style and have the spin-off in present day and have a new cast fighting off the Mind Flayer. Then in Season 5, we see Elle, Will, Lucas, Dustin, and Mike come back as adults to fight off the Mind Flayer with the kids. Wait, what? I understand the It style. Oh, so it would be like flicking through, you know, back and forward through time. Maybe Will becomes a Brenner-style character, except hopefully good. Dustin will 100% become the new babysitter, obviously. Very interesting, Francisco. You're in the video, mate. Congratulations. And you got a love from me. Okay, next up we have Strawberry. By the way, I'm just looking for theories that are a bit chunky. So there's nothing wrong with any of these. Jesse C, don't you worry. There's nothing wrong. Look, there you go. Your comment's been loved. I was just looking for something a bit chunky, okay? Strawberry. I fully believe Nancy will be the one to ... kick the bucket. Do tell, Strawberry. I would be extremely surprised if the major death that has been teased for Volume 2 was not part of the love triangle Jonathan, Nancy and Steve, because it wouldn't make sense to begin that for no reason, and the pain of Nancy having to choose between the two really doesn't make much sense either. Obviously, this still points to Steve going, but there are a few reasons I think this is unlikely. Strawberry, please ease my pain and my worries. It is too much of an obvious choice. They have set Steve up so well to die this season for many reasons. First of all, his character arc seems to be leading to him sacrificing himself either for Nancy or the kids, and that would be a very unsatisfying conclusion, to be honest. No, it wouldn't. The bites from the bats and the clear foreshadowing of Robin and her rabies fear makes it seem clear that he will die. However, I truly believe that the Duffers are trying to make this death extremely surprising. If they're going to kill off a main character, it is going to have to be for an extremely good reason, and I doubt they'd make it obvious like they are with Steve. I personally believe he's the red herring. Please, please, please be the red herring. I just love Steve. I just love Steve. His character arc isn't over. Steve's thing is about love, and frankly, he hasn't found that yet. It would be an extremely upsetting to kill off such an influential character like him if it isn't because his purpose is... Yeah, like him, if it isn't because his purpose is done yet, which I don't believe it is. I know what you mean. But then if he died sacrificing himself for Nancy, it would show that actually his love was Nancy this whole time. If it was for, say, Dustin, it would show that, like, you know, love isn't always about a partner. It's about, you know, family. It's about friends. It's about, you know, dying for those that you love. Love is so much deeper and so much broader than just, you know, I love this man, be my husband. I love this woman, be my wife, you know? So, I don't know. He is a fan and producer favourite. This section touches on interviews. If you don't like that, move to the next part. Not only is he probably the favourite character just in general, Sean Levy himself stated in a 2018 interview for Season 3 that he would walk off the show if Steve was killed. I don't think that fact fully rules out his death, but I think it is unlikely that just one season later Steve would be killed off. I also don't believe that they would kill off a fan favourite before the final season. They need to have high viewership on Season 5 to go out with a bang, and I feel like business-wise it isn't a good decision to get rid of the favourite character and have an entire season without him. You're not wrong. You know, I'm watching Community right now, and I'm in Season 6, the final season. There's no Troy. There's no Childish Gambino. I'm missing him. This forces Nancy to be with Jonathan or quit the love triangle altogether. I doubt either of those would be the best option. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, now that I've explained why I don't think it will be Steve, I'll briefly touch on Jonathan, although most people agree he will not be the one. One, it simply wouldn't matter as much. If you're going to kill off a main character, it is going to need to leave lasting effects that would change the course of the show. Jonathan just doesn't have that. I'm not going to interject just yet, but I do disagree with that. Will and Joyce would obviously be crushed, as well as probably Argyle. Nancy would feel upset too, but she's already pulling away, so it wouldn't be as much as it could have. Otherwise, the emotions would be strong. It's a death, but there are so many more characters that would have made it significantly worse. I do know what you're saying. However, think about the trauma that Will has gone through, specifically Will. Now, if his brother dies, I think he would be beyond saving, and I think he would be beyond the perfect vessel for Vecna. So I think maybe Jonathan dying would be, sorry to use the phrase again, the final nail in the coffin for Will to be fully possessed, fully upside downified, like, and possibly the ultimate villain avatar in Season 5. Number 2, there is no evidence that points to it. I know this is slightly contradictory towards another point, but I think the producers would find a happy medium. Not so clear like Steve, but also there would have to be some evidence so that it's not just a complete curveball. I do see what you mean. I don't just think it is Nancy because it isn't the other two though. One, it would create a ripple effect really similar to Steve. The buyers would be affected because Jonathan just lost his girlfriend. It wouldn't be as bad as it could have been because they're pulling apart, but the entire family would feel his pain. The Wheelers would be obviously crushed. Not much more to go into there, but it does seem like Karen is starting to see that something is going on which could point to a Wheeler death. Steve would be crushed because he is obviously still in love with Nancy. Sticking right on theme, his love is stolen away. Robin and Nancy have had this budding friendship all season long. Nancy seems annoyed by Robin at times, but it definitely looks like they have become very close, and they are only going to get closer as the season progresses. Dustin. Nancy danced with Dustin at the Snowball and showed him actual kindness. Not only that, but she told him he was her favourite. She did. and they've had a good relationship since then. They aren't shown together too much, but it is clear that they have had close times, and Dustin would feel terrible if she died. The other characters don't have the same closeness, but they'd still obviously feel sad for the death. Not only this, but she's already captured by Vecna. What are the chances that both Max and Nancy make it out unscathed? If they do, I personally think that is just lazy writing, which the Duffers are definitely not. Maybe some sort of ultimate sacrifice to kill Vecna whilst in his mind, or we think she's safe and then she isn't sort of thing, but I think Kate Bush's scene is a one-time thing. One last reason that I think it will be her is because of the perfect balance she has between the extremes of obvious and no hinting. She is captured by Vecna, which does seem obvious, but we see her out of the Upside Down in the trailers, something they could hide if they wanted to. We also have already seen someone survive Vecna's attack, so it doesn't seem as fatal anymore. Rather, ooh, what's her favourite song? Or, oh, she's better, kind of thing. Lowering our expectations, I think this possibility that is overlooked is the perfect balance that would make it reasonable but also unexpected. Something that came out of left field but also makes sense when you really think back. I really hope I'm wrong, because Nancy is at least a tier 2 character for me, but I have a bad feeling about my Tear Ducts and Volume 2. So do I. Strawberry, thank you so much for that amazing breakdown of why you think Nancy will die, and giving us a little bit of relief as to potentially why Steve wouldn't. I think you have some amazing points. Crash the Party. I wholeheartedly believe Vecna wins the battle of Season 4. For this to happen, I think more than one has to die. I've read that Empire Strikes Back played a big role in the writing, and that Season 5 will have to include a time jump unlike we've seen before going into Season 5. 2 to 4 years is my thoughts, due to the actors out-aging the characters due to COVID. So trying to tie these two thoughts from interviews into what could happen going into it and in Season 5 makes things a little more difficult. But I totally think Vecna wins this battle, which actually could mean taking Elle hostage or even giving herself up as a bribe/sacrifice to save the town and remaining friends. Vecna has only gotten stronger since their first fight. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mike die trying to save Elle and make sure she knows he loves her. This could cause the breakdown we see from Will. Steve also dying could happen. These three dying or being taken hostage would cause the entire group heartache and be at their lowest point leading into Season 5. I don't think there is enough for Hopper and the crew to make it back from Russia, so that could be a cliffhanger for Season 5. If I had to place a bet, I would think that Enzo, Steve, Mike and Elle will all meet a bad fate in those last 2 episodes of the season. Season 5 would be finding a way to reverse what happened. I don't know about time travel as much as time manipulation. Maybe even using the Upside Down to go back to the day Will was first taken and stopping that. If anyone would figure that out, it would be Dustin, Susie and Erica together. Very, very interesting. I don't believe Elle will die in Season 4. I think she will die in Season 5, most definitely. I think she will die in Season 5. Being taken prisoner by Vecna isn't an impossibility, though, of Elle. There's definitely going to be multiple deaths. I can't see Murray getting out of Russia, Enzo either, unfortunately. Mike sacrificing himself for Elle in vain, and Elle being captured anyway would be quite something. Very interesting, though. Thank you, Crash the Party. Okay, Naturally Curious Brady. I think the heroes are definitely going to lose in this season. Vecna seems to be the primary antagonist of the show, and I feel it would be unwise to kill him off, only to be replaced by an even bigger villain next season. I'm hoping for an Empire Strikes Back or Infinity War type ending, in which the heroes lose and are at their lowest point going into the next season. I'm pretty sure Vecna will survive this season. I think while it would really damage Dustin if Steve died, Steve dying does seem a bit predictable. Now imagine with Steve being the older brother and babysitter of the group, if Dustin died on his watch. They could explore Steve's character and trauma going forward like we've never seen before. It would also be unexpected for the audience, and it would make sense for Vecna to take out the smartest of the group, the cleric. However, I doubt that Eddie and Steve would both allow Dustin to die without giving their lives to protect him. I just love how I know nothing for sure about Volume 2 and I can't wait for July 1st. Naturally Curious Brady, I'm exactly the same. And you raise a very, very interesting point. A very interesting point that actually ties into the video of which you have commented, which is Steve Harrington doesn't make it out of Season 4. We discussed, or the theory giver discuss Braxton, that Steve hasn't had a big traumatic event. And I've seen a few people comment, I've seen you guys comment that in Season 3 he was captured by the Russians and beaten up. That is most certainly traumatic. But we kind of overlooked, because we thought, oh, well, Steve's traumatic event will be his death. What about Steve's traumatic event is Dustin dying? That would rip the whole fucking group apart if Dustin died. That would affect everyone. That would crush me. That would destroy Steve, destroy the kids, leave them weaker than ever. Damn. Does Dustin die? Oh, damn. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? July the 1st. Okay, two more, guys. Two more. They're little ones. Smaller ones. Oh, Braxton actually commented. Does anyone have any thoughts as to how Brenner survived Season 1? It is literally show the Demogorgon jump at him and what looks like chomp and biting motions. Very true, very true. I did think that. I was like, how did you survive? Sarah. So my theory is that Vecna will lose one eye and one arm, but he's not going to die, because if Vecna dies in Season 4, there will be no other reason for producing a Season 5 except for the Mind Flayer. But we all know that the Mind Flayer needs a 5-star general to open more gates, because the main gate is closed by 11 in Season 2. So it wouldn't be as logical to remove the main villain of Season 4. In addition to that, Eddie said in the D&D play in Episode 1 that Lord Vecna won't die and that he will lose an arm and an eye. And we all know that the Upside Down is a copy of the Dungeons and Dragons game. However, it says isn't. However, this would make sense because the Duffer Brothers said in an interview that Season 5 will take place in the future, so there will be a time break. And in this period of time, where the kids get older, I'm guessing Vecna will restore his power to fight against El, because he's probably weak after the fight and without an arm and an eye. And the beginning of the end starts, Season 5. But yeah, that would be quite interesting if there's foreshadowing, you know, in that Dungeons & Dragons game of Episode 1. Erica stabbing him in the back, maybe weakening him, maybe he gets slashed up, arm removed, and then he has to heal, while the group heals from probably Steve dying. It's all to play for. Right, last one. Now this one's very short, but I was like, because someone also commented, oh shit, good catch. Did anyone notice Joyce is only in one clip in Russia, then she is not in any more of the trailer, and Jonathan and Will are hugging and crying? I think Joyce dies. There may be more than one character that dies, but if it is Steve, I will have a hard time watching Season 5. I'll be so upset if he dies. Is Joyce going to die? Ties into what I was saying about Will being the perfect candidate, because, you know, if his brother dies or his mum dies, there's trauma, then there's trauma, you know? So, yeah. Some fantastic theories coming out. Once I've seen Season 4 Volume 2, I'm going to do a reaction to it. I'm going to do a video like processing these theories and see who got close. Did we get close to the truth? Are the Duffer Brothers like on a whole nother stratosphere of writing and all of these theories are wrong? I can't wait to find out. But thank you so much for supporting this Stranger Things content. It's been unbelievable. On the content I've done so far, there's been close to, if not over by now, 100,000 views on it, which is amazing. So thank you so much. It's really helped me to achieve my 10-year goal of 100,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this, please, if you could hit that subscribe button, you're helping this man achieve a dream 10 years in the making. So thank you so much. I'll see you very soon. If you want to support me, I've got a Patreon where I do exclusive like behind the scenes videos. You can do that for as little as £1 a month. You don't have to do that though. The biggest thing for me is that you're watching. The biggest thing for me is that you like, you share, and you subscribe, okay? Thank you so much, guys. I'm so excited for July the 1st. Ah, man. See you soon. Swear on, geese.